Hey, what's up? This is Laidback Luke, DJ and producer, and today I'm going to talk to you about true happiness in art. Do what you love and love what you do. This tweet by Gareth Emerson this week sparked my motivation to record this vlog for you, and I just want to speak about being happy as an artist or being happy with what you do, possibly in general. See, when it comes to music and when it comes to DJing, there is just so much time involved that you're going to spend by developing your craft, developing your art. Most of the time, I would say it's going to be more than a work week. You better be sure that you are doing something that you love. So for me, it actually doesn't feel like work. That's why I do it so much as well, because time just flies by. I genuinely love making music, and I genuinely love DJing and performing as well. But I can't imagine spending all of that time on something that you actually don't really enjoy and that you don't really love, right? And then there's the artistic side of it as well, where when you are creating music or creating a certain art, you want to stand by that art. You want it to represent you. You want it to touch a lot of people. You want it to move a whole certain sound or a generation forward. And a lot of times, referring back to this Gareth Emery tweet, a lot of times nowadays it seems like people are just putting out music and getting music out for the clicks. And then my question would be, and maybe someone like Gareth Emery as well, where is the artistic integrity in this? What is it that you actually stand for? Are you selling out your soul for the likes and the clicks? And then if you actually zoom out and actually listen to the product, say you have a super commercial track, then you can ask yourself, are you proud of it? Is this what you stand for? Is this actual quality? Am I happy with what I just put out? Am I really satisfied with this piece of art that's going to spread all over the world? I am so thankful that a couple of my hits are hits that I really stood for, that I was happy to make, that I was happy to put out there. Tracks like Turbulence, Leave the World Behind, obviously the Show Me Love remix as well, are still tracks that I've, after 10 years, over 10 years even, are still tracks that I'm playing out, and tons of people are requesting that, and I'll happily play those out. But can you imagine if you made a track that wasn't really your thing, and you just did it for the likes, and you just did it for the clout, and then all of a sudden it becomes a hit, and then for the next decade you are stuck with people requesting that track, and you are stuck actually playing that track. So I want to give you a little wisdom here. If you are putting out tracks, each and every one could possibly become a hit, right? And so you better make sure that you are really happy and satisfied and possibly even prepared to be able to play that track out in the next decade. All right, if you're enjoying what I have to say right now, make sure to give me a like and hit that subscribe button and that bell as well as we continue. Similarly, the same thing goes for DJing. So basically, I could play everything I want, but is it really me? What do I stand for? You could, obviously the most cheesy and commercial tracks you can play out there, the most horrible tracks, obviously this is subjective, but the most horrible tracks you can play out. But within that, where is your identity? Because where your identity is where you'll be most happiest. You'll be most happiest with representing what you do, what you love, and what you stand for, DJing that for a crowd. What if you break through with that sound? What if you break through with that style? Then you're stuck with this whole lot of clout expecting you to keep on playing that style and possibly keeping on doing that same thing for the next decade, right? So within that as well, and we have a couple of big DJs that can vouch for this, that had been doing the same rounds over and over again at the same festivals on the same time slot, possibly even going forward and reaching a huge success with a certain type of sound. But in the end, they were looking back or they were stepping back and just discovered, man, what I'm doing right now is really not making me happy. Despite the money, despite the fame, despite the clout, right? And so all of this is really good to keep in mind with potential success on the horizon, or even if you're playing local circuits right now, just for you to ask yourself and to realize, am I really happy with what I'm doing right now? I have a similar example with one of my tracks. Over the pandemic, I had put out a couple of tracks which were encouraged to be put out there because of getting extra clout, extra streams and extra plays. And granted, a couple of those really got big plays and tons of streams and not necessarily support. But when I look back at that era, the pandemic era of putting out music, I'm thinking, man, I'm not sure. I am not really, it's not my best work ever. It's not my best work ever. That's the thing. And so, yes, a ton of streams, right? And yes, it kept me afloat. But artistically, like, am I proud to like be sending those tracks out to fellow DJs and to say, hey, look, this is what I made and I hope you play it out and whatnot? No. So now I'm trying to switch styles where I'm trying to find my own authentic self back again. And mind you, I'm making this vlog for myself as well. As a reminder, the tracks that I'm currently making, the tracks that are gonna come out in the near future, are tracks I'm really proud of. For instance, Flexing is one of those.
You're flexing.
You're flexing.
As an artist, I love it. It's one of my best pieces, and especially in these last couple of years. Oh, better keep my hands on the wheel, right? Does it do amazing streaming wise, especially compared to the more cheesy and commercial tracks? Not really. Does it get a ton of support? Not really. But am I happy with it? Am I happy with the product, the studio session, the artistic integrity? Yes, absolutely. And this is, for me, a classic already. And mind you, I've had it with a ton of tracks where, for instance, a track like Break Down the House would not surface, would not be supported, would not be there in the moment, would not be the right sound for the moment. But throughout the years, with friends telling friends, and there's a ton of tracks out there that I can name as an example, where initially when it came out it did nothing, and then over the years they grew out to be classics. And guess what? The artistic integrity is still there. The happiness with listening to that and just being proud of putting that out is still there. And after a few years, it became a hit as well, a certified classic. And so that's the route. I also want to encourage you, if you're putting tracks out right now, tracks that you are believing in, and they are not streaming or they are not being supported, hold on. If this is really quality music that you stand for, then I am pretty certain that in the future, or maybe if you break through with another track, you start playing this track again, and you'll be so happy and so proud. So do what you love and love what you do. This, in the end, is the long game, and this is what I think is most important. Keeping your happiness in check while putting out all of these amazing and creative pieces of music. All right, so that concludes my little drive around. Hope you enjoyed this, and make sure to give me a like and subscribe right now if you want to hear more knowledge about, I have a ton more vlogs about this. Spreading the knowledge, spreading the awareness. And in the meantime, hope to catch you back here on the next vlog. Until then, L's up. Can't do it in the car, but L's up.